Today we'll be talking about Maxx. I don't actually own or play Maxx personally, but it's one of the most played cards in Master Duel, so of course we have to know our options and our countermeasures for Maxx. So let's start off with the best option you have against Maxx. It's Cyframe Gear Gamma. Assuming you of course only have a singular Cyframe Gear Gamma in your hand, you'll summon a Cyframe Driver from your deck, and then you can go into Omega, and then you can banish a card until your opponent's end phase, I believe. Or until your next standby phase. Well, I guess that's a bit different, but either way, they're down Maxx, and then they're down a random card in their hand, leaving them with 4 cards for the next turn, and whatever they attempted to negate still goes through, or in this case, what they attempted to Maxx, it did nothing to you, and they just went -2 off of it, and you can of course use Cyber Gamma and Driver in slightly other ways, but Omega is also a decent option whenever you run Gamma. So, like, for example, if you have a level 8 monster, you can use Gamma to make Baron, or if you have a level, I guess, another level 6 monster, you would make Beatrice with Driver. Just throwing some ideas out there. So next, let's go into zombies. So for options with zombies, if your opponent preemptively maxes around when you normal summon Uni-Zombie, you can just send Doom King, Ballad Rock to the graveyard and like activate Zombie World. You kind of need like either Zombie World, Doom King, just any of these 3 in your hand, and then you just send, like, leave a Doom King in the graveyard, and then it'll come back and special summon itself next turn, giving your opponent 0 draws, so that's a pretty good one. So, and then we have, of course, Samsara Lotus. The best option here to play alongside Samsara Lotus is King Tiger Wang Hu. It's preferred over like topologic Bomber Dragon. The reason being that the Bomber Dragon destroys all monsters in main monster zones, and that's worse than what King Tiger Wang Hu does, because it'll only destroy summoned monsters. So the difference is huge between these two. So if you had, for example, Ceruli on your opponent's field, then they can't activate Impermanence on you, and that's a very important thing, because Samsara Lotus's effect happens in the end phase, and in the end phase, this doesn't do anything. Nibiru is only during the main phase. Effect Veiler. This does nothing. Ghost Spell, for example, also does nothing. It only stops it once. There's actually not a lot of cards that stop your opponent from decking out once you get the loop of Samsara Lotus and King Tiger Wang Hu on field. Because you'll just, you know, keep destroying Samsara Lotus. And I guess if you were running this strat, Link Rebo would not be bad, just to really get him off the field, but I don't think he would be on the field. But if he were on the field, you know, whatever. So then, another alternative strategy to this kind of thing is, well, I guess we'll go back to Dark World first. So, Danger Dark World, you just deck them out. You just special summon so many times, your opponent doesn't have any cards left to draw on their deck, and they automatically lose. That's another potential way for you to combat Maxx, I guess. And then there's, of course, just play Stun, Inspector, Border, Floodgates. What's your opponent gonna do about it? Nothing. Maxx's not gonna do anything, at the very least. Anyway, there's also like this normal summon archetype here, Flouandries. I don't even like Flouandries, but I mean, it's true that Maxx does nothing against them. And then there's Called by the Grave, and if you want, I guess, Crossout. It depends what you're playing with Crossout. Crossout is at 1, so, You have to be playing Maxi to be able to negate Maxi, of course, so... Kinda picking your own poison here, I guess. And of course, Ash Blossom is also an option. Ash Blossom being able to just raw negate a Maxi is pretty swell. But yeah, these are mostly just some ways for you to deal with Maxi. And I guess in some cases you could kinda go for something like this. But there are risks, of course, to this as well. But the most interesting thing about, like, Maxi is how card destruction completely screws you over once you have, like, 20 cards in hand or so. Something around that. A single card destruction wins you the game. Kinda humorous, but in Master Duel it's a one of right now, so But I hope this in general helped you guys out a bit. So bye.